The group of seven sit down to dinner, wrapping up the first of their three-day summit in Hiroshima, Japan. Earlier in the day, the leaders of the world's wealthiest economies gathered for a tour of the Hirsohima Shinto Shrine, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and laid wreaths at the site of the world's first ever atomic bomb, dropped on Hiroshima by the U.S. in 1945. Notable symbolism as war rages in Europe's east. This is the second G7 summit during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The only reference to the dangers of nuclear war was made in this joint leaders' statement, expressing the gravest concern over Russia's grossly irresponsible seizure and militarization of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and supporting the International Atomic Energy Agency's efforts to strengthen nuclear safety and security of nuclear sites in Ukraine. With a fresh round of sanctions imposed on Moscow, G7 leaders are targeting the diamond industry. More than three-quarters of all diamonds are bought by residents of G7 countries, and Russia is one of the world's largest exporters. At the Kremlin, the president had this response.
The more sanctions the West imposes on Russia, the more lies there are, the greater the level of cohesion within Russian society.
On Sunday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will join the G7 summit in person for the first time, following what's also his inaugural visit to the Arab League summit in Saudi Arabia.
Very important things will be decided there, and it is therefore the presence of our president that is absolutely essential in order to defend our interests.
The G7 summit is also meant as a show of strength and influence against a rising and competitive China, and protesters here are pushing back.
Japan and the United States are trying to conduct a war of aggression on China. I am protesting because I absolutely cannot accept the fact that they are in Hiroshima, a place where an atomic bomb was dropped, trying to hold a meeting to start a nuclear war.
But as is always the case with G7 meetings, this crowd is kept far apart from where decisions are made. Yasmine El-Sabawi, TRT World.